50 teams, 250 cars. It's a brand new season of Junkyard Joust. Hi everybody, I'm Aaron Yonda, and here we go again. It's the very first qualifier. 3 of these teams will make it out of this match, 2 will not. The dice have randomly determined that these will be the first 5 teams to compete. Let's take a look at our teams. The Big Shots didn't do so great in their first appearance, but they have a brand new team and they're ready to give it another shot. Team Bond is back with a new slate of Bond cars, all from different eras of Bond. It's been a while. The Graveyard Smash have returned from the graveyard. Team sponsor is Chicken Rings Onion Wings. They're back with 3 original members and 2 new ones. Massive Transit had some bad luck in the main event last season, but they got a big mess of trucks here and they're gonna try again. Speaking of trucks, Truculent is back, voted into the season by you, the viewers, and my patrons, and they've got a stalwart bunch of trucks. 5 interesting teams. This is gonna be a fun one. Let's joust. Starting us off in round 1, Sup Dog, sponsored by Tim the Bear Neal. The randomized running order is up. Sup Dog has a little trouble with the track buffer, Evil Weevil, but then settles in. The only returning member of Truculent, 84 GMC Sierra Classic, sponsored by Stump's Tree Farm. Comes equipped with its own tent and starts the line up at the front of the track. And Massive Transit starting out with 151 gram Trash Basher right away in the beginning. Oh, it was not gonna go well for Sup Dog and the GMC, and they both just get massacred. Both flipped over upside down up by the crates. No chance of a recovery from that nasty hit. A massive double takedown to start off the season, and now Trash Basher is in position. Graveyard Smash recruited Hando the Clown, a 112 gram vehicle, and wow, it tries to slam Trash Basher off the track, but is getting nowhere. Flips almost over, and then slides off the side. And now the Aston Martin DB3 for Bond Team Bond's gonna take a shot at it. Hando makes a deft maneuver off to the right and survives that hit. I wonder if Hando has any relation to that strange clown supposedly selling ice cream in the food cart. Actually, maybe I'd rather not know. Cove Light now for Big Shots, sponsored by Judy Collins. Cove Light takes a shot at the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin goes up and almost over, but manages to stay alive for now. Beautiful truck here for Truculent, 65 Chevy tow truck, sponsored by Torgoth, the Infinite Horror, Destroyer of Worlds, and Professional Dog Sitter. Tow truck knocks the Aston Martin off to safety, a nice solid hit, and it's locked in. Bad luck for Truculent being behind Massive Transit. Up now, Holland Class, sponsored by Chome. Holland Class takes down the tow truck, tosses it over the top of Cove Light, upside down. That's probably going to be an elimination. The Mummy's up for the smash, sponsored by Miskatonic Automotive Club. Mummy slams into Holland Class, takes it off the track partially, but cannot flip it over. That thing looks pretty stable. Here's a classic Bond car, the Lotus Esprit, in its boat form, sponsored by Sicken. We haven't seen Bond Team Bond since all the way back in Season 1. Nice to have them back. Next up for the Big Shots, Unobtainium 1, sponsored by Farty Marty. Unobtainium locks it in, nowhere to go. Nice solid line, although the Trash Basher kind of buckled a little bit. Up next, the 79 Ford F-150. The Ford slams into the line, almost gets the Esprit off the back of the Mummy, but can't quite do it. This ought to loosen the line up a little bit. Aeroblast, 107 grams, sponsored by Sid from Cybertron. Aeroblast blasts through 3 of the cars on the track, 2 of them taking nasty turns. The Ford F-150 manages to scoot off to safety. Unobtainium actually looks like it's going to go upside down, then recovers. Only victim of that hit is going to be the Lotus Esprit. Sorry to see that car go. New addition to the Smash, Bone Shaker, sponsored by PriceX Private Parts. Bone Shaker pushes the line forward just a little bit. Cove Light in danger. Here's another Aston Martin DB3. This one with no bullet holes, sponsored by Hendrika's Heavy Hauling. Bit of a tap right there, and Cove Light continues to fall. Looks like it's hung up on that tow truck, spinning its tires. Chrysler 300C Hemi, sponsored by Jason's Bits Boys. The Hemi slams the Aston Martin almost off the track, definitely in a perilous position right there. The noticeably not red 78 Dodge Lil Red Express, sponsored by Emo Dingo. Some sort of a giant stamp in the flatbed of that thing. And a nice hit there as the Aston Martin goes skidding across the turf and lands upside down. One of the Klingons got a little surprised by that hit, it looks like. 99 gram Ford C800 for Massive Transit, sponsored by Regal Radio. Huge hit by the Ford. Something breaks off the front of the Ford. Oh, wow, lots of stuff broke off the front of that Ford. Paint or something flying everywhere. Wow, that was a devastating hit. And it's just raining scraps of white paint all over the junkyard. And look at Cove Light. How on earth did it get in that position? What are the odds? Creature from the Black Lagoon, the infamous. Sponsored by Chicken Rings Onion Wings. They waited a while to send Creature down, must want to keep it safe, or maybe they have a plan, but that ramp is now set up. The Aston Martin DBS is up. Can it stop the Creature? Sponsored by Amethyst Auto Club. And it looks like the Aston Martin wasn't going to go off the back, but then it got a little unstable and went up, and it's going to have to go off that jump eventually. And yet another big hit coming down now. Ford Excursion, 82 grams, sponsored by Bentley's Brakes and Bumpers. The Excursion boots the DBS into the back of the Ford. It almost stays there, but then manages to flip off to the side, flip over to a successful recovery. Nice job by the DBS. And here comes the 6970 C30 tow truck, sponsored by Sloss Automotive Sachet and Buffet. And what a hit on the Ford Excursion. It goes up and over, lands on top of the Ford, tries to climb up even higher, but then flips back down and goes over. But what a spectacular dismount. Man, oh man, what a crazy combination of stuff just happened there. Unfortunately, the Ford out. And now here comes Speed Blaster, sponsored by Chicken Rings Onion Wings. Speed Blaster tosses the tow truck up and it lands on top of the Ford and manages to hang on for dear life. Meanwhile, Creature's starting to go underneath that Ford, and Speed Blaster is poised to go off that jump as well. This round has been nuts. Wolfman for the smash, sponsored by Chicken Rings Onion Wings. Wolfman pushes Speed Blaster up off the ramp, but it stops on the back of its own teammate, which helps it stay alive. Ford stays alive, and that tow truck also makes a recovery. Interesting to see these big trucks helping each other. Last car of the round, the Lotus Esprit, sponsored by TJG. Lotus Esprit not in boat form this time, pushes into the line, does not manage any eliminations, but wow. Massive Transit getting a little bit lucky. Those two trucks may be in danger. No more cars coming down. 7 eliminations in the round, including that weird one from Cove Light. 2 teams did not lose a single car. All the eliminations are coming from 3 different teams. The Big Shots lost 3 vehicles in this round. Bomb Team Bond and Truculent lost 2. Graveyard Smash and Massive Transit did not lose a vehicle. Strong start for them. Over on the sidelines, the crew of the Enterprise hanging out in their shuttle. Baby Cookie doling out hot chicken. Oh, and one of the Klingons has decided to go try the ice cream. Well, good luck with that. I gotta question the customer service skills of that giant clown. In any case, let's head right into round 2 with the Ford C800 heading down the track first for Massive Transit, who won the toss and start out. Graveyard Smash decides to lead off with Bone Shaker. Bone Shaker pops the back of the Ford, but can't get anything to happen. One of the Aston Martins pushes Bone Shaker up on the back of the Ford, and now it's poised for some sort of weird behavior, I suspect. The F-150 slams into the line. The Aston Martin goes underneath the Ford, and Bone Shaker is tossed upside down. Could be the first elimination for Graveyard Smash. The Hemi rear ends the F-150, and the F-150's got paint flying everywhere, but that does not stop it from making a nice recovery. Looks like Truculent may have tinkered with the bottom of that F-150 to make it more competitive. So far, that's working. A big hit from Aeroblast, and Bond Team Bond sustains yet another loss. That Aston Martin flipping over, can't make a recovery. Unbelievably, that Ford somehow flipped over and landed upright. An unexpected recovery from a big, bulky vehicle like that. The Mummy slots into place and has a little bit of a ramp on the back. Doesn't always work, but it's not a bad protection for the back of the vehicle. The Lotus low enough to the ground that it does not go off the back of the Mummy, at least not yet. But the tow truck finishes the job, and the Lotus gets tossed up on top of the Mummy, flips over easy, and is out. Nice hit by the tow truck. Unobtainium tries to push that tow truck up on the back of Mummy, gets it started. And Trash Basher tries to finish the job. Unobtainium flying way up in the air, all the way up to a height of 7. Massive hit, and Unobtainium goes flying all the way up to the crates just about. Look at that, nice recovery though. Tow truck somehow makes a recovery after that hit too. There could have been a lot more damage on that run. Nice one by Trash Basher. Graveyard gives Hando another shot at Trash Basher, but Hando can't quite do enough to turn Trash Basher sideways, and it looks like Basher might be able to make an escape off the track. The DBS continues the process of removing Trash Basher from the track. Good hit on the back of Hando. Solid hit by the 78 Dodge, but no eliminations, just a lot of trucks moving around. All in Class sends the Lil Red Express careening off the track, and Lil Red Express cannot make a recovery. Honestly, I think if it didn't have that giant stamp on the back of the truck, it might have had a chance at recovering there. Creature slots in behind Hall in Class, and the ramp is active. Speed Blaster showing no fear, jumping off the ramp and landing it. Wow, hits the back of Hando the Clown, bounces backwards, and somehow keeps it under control. We've seen it before from Speed Blaster. That thing can do amazing stunts. Graveyard apparently just trying to take down Speed Blaster with the timing of their vehicles as Wolfman slides into place, as Graveyard must have planned. That was the final run of round 2. Looks like we're going to lose 4 vehicles in the round, but no teams out yet. Bond Team Bond sustaining 2 losses in that round. Taking a look at the aftermath, Big Shot steady at 2. Bond Team Bond slide down to just 1. Graveyard Smash loses 1 down to 4. Truculent falls down to 2, and Massive Transit has not lost a vehicle yet. Skycam seems to have caught some shenanigans. Everyone seems to be busy down on the sidelines, but if I'm not mistaken, that Klingon who was trying to get some ice cream, he's being pushed into the ice cream truck. Somebody stop that evil clown. Well, the joust must go on. Round 3, here we go. The Ford C800 starting us off for Transit. And now it looks like that clown has turned back around like nothing happened. Wow, I hope somebody figures out what's going on with the ice cream truck. Graveyard Smash sending down Creature early this time. Somehow it manages to get under the Ford, and this could create some interesting interactions down on the track. The Ford F-150 takes the plunge, and look at the height obtained on that hit. Goes over into the crates, gets up to a 6. Doesn't quite obtain the heights that Unobtainium did. And then look at this amazing recovery, landing it, turning over, keeping Truculent in the game. Speaking of Unobtainium, Unobtainium tries to break its own record, going all the way up to, oh, I don't know if it was an 8. And no, it was just under an 8, top of the 7 bar, and Unobtainium lands, spins around, does a little pirouette, and cannot quite make a recovery. That could be trouble for the big shots. Creature's starting to take a toll. The Aston Martin does not take the jump. That thing's got a low enough front, and wow, look at that takedown. The DBS pushes the Ford off the track. The Ford doesn't quite have enough impetus to get back over again. And one of the Klingons has passed out over at the hot chicken booth. I don't know what kind of hot sauce Cookie's using over there, but seems like Klingons are dropping left and right here. And a savage takedown from Hall in Class on the DBS. It does look like Bond Team Bond is going to be our first team eliminated in this season. One of these days, they'll put together a team that can live up to their movie namesake, but not this season. Hall in Class in a tough position, but manages a nice recovery after getting hit by Wolfman. Wolfman, wow, that was close. Wolfman is poised on the back of Creature. Wolfman is supposed to stop at the back of Creature. It did not go that way. And now Graveyard Shift regretting their choices, maybe, as the tow truck takes down the Wolfman. DBS goes upside down and for sure out, and that tow truck's now poised. A nice punch by the 300C Hemi, and the tow truck goes over. But now the Hemi has to survive a big hit in order to keep the big shots in this match. Aeroblast utterly destroys the 300C Hemi. It flips over and over and over. Wow, even got some height there. It bounces, it's dancing, and it lands upside down. Eliminated, and that is gonna do it for the big shots as well, unless some sort of miracle happens with Hando the Clown. Aeroblast forced forward by the impact of Hando the Clown, and Aeroblast makes a nice stable landing. That is what you want to see. Massive Transit got to be pretty happy about their team right now. A heavy collision from Trash Basher finishes off Hando off the back of Creature. Basher using that steadying bar to keep itself from tipping over. Another elimination for Graveyard Smash. They have to be more careful about their strategy with Creature, it looks like. Especially when there's vehicles this big involved. Pretty ineffective hit there from the Mummy, just pushes Basher a little bit more sideways, but prevents itself from going off the back of Creature, so the ramp has been thwarted for the moment. Speed Blaster finishes off the round by pushing Mummy off the back of Creature anyway. It does not flip over though and stays level. Speed Blaster is also fine. Bunch of debris falling through the air. I don't know who it came off of, but man, what a devastating round. Checking out this pileup. It's round 3 and there were 7 eliminations, same as round 1. Shows you how devastating Creature can be. Taking a look at the aftermath, we're gonna say goodbye to Bond, Team Bond, and the Big Shots. I assume they'll be back at some point, maybe with the new lineup. Graveyard Smash down to 2, Truculent at 1, and Massive Transit still at 4. They are gonna be a team to contend with in the main event. We're trying something new this season. The teams that get number 1 in their qualifiers, like Massive Transit here with 27 points, will get the option once per match to send one of their vehicles to the back of the line. It's a new strategy element, and I think it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Also gives the teams a little motivation to do well in the qualifiers. Congrats to Massive Transit, Graveyard Smash, and Truculent, who are moving on to the main event. A huge thank you to my patrons who are the sole reason I'm able to bring you another season of Junkyard Joust. Thanks everybody for supporting this show, and thanks for watching. I hope to see you next time on the Junkyard Joust.